Blueberries for Sal by Robert McCluskey. Blueberries for Sal. One day, little Sal went with his mother to Blueberry Hill to pick up blueberries. Make sure that you can see that. Little Sal brought along her tin pail, and her mother brought her large tin pail to put blueberries in. "We will take our berries home and can them," said Mother. "Then we will have food for the winter." Little Sal picked 3 berries and dropped them in his tin pail. Kerplunk, kerplunk, kerplunk. She picked 3 more berries and ate them. Then she picked more berries and dropped them, one in the pail. Kerplunk. And the rest she ate. Then little Sal ate all 4 blueberries out of her pail. I'm going to come out just a little bit so you can see both sides. Her mother walked slowly through the bushes, picking blueberries as she went and putting them in her pail. Little Sal struggled along behind, picking blueberries and eating every single one. Little Sal hurried ahead and dropped a blueberry in her mother's pail. It didn't sound kerplunk because the bottom of the pail was already covered with berries. She reached down inside her berry pack. Though she really didn't mean to, she pulled out a large handful because there were so many blueberries right up close to the one that she had put in her hand. Her mother stopped picking and said, "Now, Sal, run along and pick your own berries. Mother wants to take her berries home and can them for the next winter." Making sure you can still see. And you can. Her mother went back to picking, but little Sal, because her feet were tired of standing and walking, sat down in the middle of a large clump of bushes and ate her blueberries. On the other side of Blueberry Hill, Little Bear came with his mother to eat blueberries. "Little Bear," she said, "eat lots of berries and grow big and fat. We must store up for the winter." Little Bear followed behind his mother as she walked slowly through the bushes eating berries. Little Bear stopped now and then to eat more berries. Then he had to hustle along to catch up. Because his feet were tired of hustling, he picked out a large clump of bushes and sat right down in the middle and ate berries. Over on the other side of the hill, little Sal ate all of the berries she could reach from where she was sitting, and then she started out to find her mother. But it was a mother crow and her children, and they stopped eating berries and flew away, saying, "Caw, caw, caw." Then she heard another noise in the bushes and thought, "That surely must be my mother, and I will go that way." But it was Little Bear's mother. She was tramping along eating berries and thinking about storing up for the winter. Little Sal tramped right along behind. By this time, Little Bear had eaten all the berries he could reach without moving from his clump of bushes. Then he hustled off to catch up with his mother. He hunted and hunted, but his mother was nowhere to be seen. He heard a noise from a stump and thought, "That must be my mother." But it was the mother partridge and her family. They stopped eating berries and hurried away. And he heard a noise in the bushes and thought, "Surely, this must be my mother. I will hustle that way." But it was little Sal's mother instead, and she was walking along picking berries and thinking about canning them. For the next winter, Little Bear hustled right along behind. Little Bear and Little Sal's mother and Little Sal and Little Bear's mother were all mixed up with each other among the blueberries on Blueberry Hill. Little Bear's mother heard Sal walking along behind and thought it was her little bear, and she said, "Little Bear, Munch, munch, eat all you can. Gulp. Can possibly hold, she said. Little Sal said nothing, and she picked her 3 berries and dropped them in. Kerplunk, kerplunk, kerplunk. Little Bear's mother turned around to see what on earth was making that sound. "Ugh," she said, choking her mouth full of berries. "This is not my child. Where is Little Bear?" She took one good look and backed away. She was not old enough to be shy of people, even a very small bear like Little Sal, or even a very small person like Little Sal. Then she turned around and walked off very fast to hunt for Little Bear. Little Sal's mother heard Little Bear tramping along behind and thought it was Little Sal. She kept right on picking and thinking about canning blueberries for next winter. Gotta get one page here. Little Bear padded up and peeked in her pail. Of course, he only wanted to taste a few of what was inside, but there were so many and they were so close together that he tasted a tremendous mouthful by mistake. "Now, Sal," said Little Bear's mother without turning around, "you run along and pick your own berries. Mother wants to can these berries for next winter." Little Bear tasted another tremendous mouthful and almost spilled the entire pail. Little Sal's mother turned around and said, "My goodness, you are not my little Sal. What? Where is my child?" Little Bear just sat munching and swallowing and licking his lips. Little Sal's mother slowly backed away. She was old enough to be shy of bears, even very small bears like Little Bear. Then she turned and walked away to look for Little Sal. She hadn't gone far before she heard kerplunk, kerplunk, kerplunk. She knew just what made that kind of noise. Little Bear's mother had not hunted very long before she heard a hustling sound that stopped now, and then went munch and swallow, munch and swallow. And she knew just what made that kind of noise. Little Bear and his mother went home and down one side of Blueberry Hill, eating blueberries all the way and full of food stored up for the next winter. And Little Sal and her mother went down the other side of Blueberry Hill, picking berries all the way, and drove home with food to can for next winter. A whole pail of blueberries and 3 more besides. And there he is in his kitchen. She is helping her mom cook. And she's canning her blueberries. The end.